Hey, Sean McManaman, Mortgages by Sean. I'm here with a rate update. So I don't even really have words to describe what has happened this last week in the mortgage market, in the bond market. The stock market I'm not really going to talk about, but the bond market. Because on Friday when I made the video about rates were looking good, right? We were looking good. We were going low and things were looking good, but then about midday on Friday, things started to take a turn for the worse big time. And then Monday and Tuesday, it got worse. I mean, you normally don't see swings like this in the market unless there's an event, a bad event. And before it was 9/11 and COVID, that's when we saw these big swings like this in the bond market. But we saw it this week again. And as you remember, last week, the interest rates were 6.63% on an average overall conventional rate, and then low sixes, I think 6.07 on FHA and VA. And this is where we're at today. Take a look. So on an average 30-year conventional rate, remember these are averages, not a specific rate, it's 6.97 on a 30-year conventional, 6.44 and 6.45 on an FHA and VA. That's over 30 basis points higher than last Friday. You don't normally see these big swings like this. That is a huge jump. So what's happening now? So today should have been a really good day in the bond market. We really should have been celebrating. Rates should have been dropping. We had an inflation report, CPI, came out, and it came out very good and showed inflation lowering and everything looking good, but the bond market did not react at all. Just basically didn't react, because what's going on, as everybody knows, we have these tariffs. So if they hadn't paused the tariffs for 90 days on, I think it was Wednesday, we would be in a very bad place right now with interest rates. And the bond market is really what I think forced them to make this pause, because the bond market was getting torn up big time and interest rates were going up fast. I mean really fast, almost fast enough where the Fed may have had to intervene. So they went ahead and paused the tariffs for 90 days. That stabilized the bond market, and it stabilized the stock market too. But today, you know, we went back to getting hammered a little bit in both markets. So that's where we're at right now. So going forward, what's going to happen? I mean, what can you expect? So there's been revised numbers from all the experts, okay, from all the agencies about what's going to happen with interest rates this year. And pretty much they're all in agreement. It's going to be between 6.5 and 7% is what we're looking at for the rest of the year. We're not going to go much lower. Definitely not going to be in the fives, but that's where we're going to be at on a conventional rate. So if you're really thinking, you know what, I'm going to wait now, I'm going to see if the rates come down because of what's happening, it's just not going to happen. There's just going to be wild swings between 6.5 and 7%. Values are still going up in our area. We're not seeing big decreases in value unless you're looking at condos. You can see a decrease in condos, but single family homes, if they're priced reasonable the way they should, they sell fast. But your competition's less. So you can get the seller to maybe pay some of your closing costs. So I would say let's do it, you know, because if you're waiting for the fives, if you're waiting for the low fives or mid fives, you're going to wait for a long time. It may be 2027 before we see something like that. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm available for pre-approvals all the time. If you possibly want to refinance and see where you're at in refinancing, I'm doing a video on that, even though rates spiked up again. You know, just give me a call. I can run the numbers for you. But purchases, it's still a good time to purchase. I know people say, you always say that because you're in the business. Well, it really is, because there's not a lot of competition out there as far as buyers go. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much.